We are an intermediary-centric lender and have been for some time. We're very proud of our proposition to intermediaries. We've got a large team of BDMs knocking on the doors of the practitioners out there, and we've also got a team of national account managers that stay close to the big clubs and networks to ensure that we understand not just what they're doing and part of their proposition, but how best our proposition can suit the customers that are coming through those clubs and networks and those intermediaries. We also interact very regularly with the trade bodies via CML, AMI and IMLA to make sure that we're keeping in touch with the bigger issues in the industry to ensure that our proposition is as close as it can be to the needs of the industry and the needs of the intermediary. We are intermediary centric. We look at our proposition as being exactly that. We don't dual price. We look at trying to satisfy the needs as regularly as we can via our proposition, and to that end I would expect that the majority of the business that we do going forward will continue to be intermediated. We don't have any published lending targets. As you would have seen, we lent £4.2 billion in 2010, and actually our half-year results were published on the 3rd of August, so you'll see our performance in the first half year at that stage. As I said on the first question, we are intermediary-centric, and what I can say is that the majority of the lending that we deliver will be delivered through intermediaries. We're not distracted by diversity. We're predominantly a mortgage lender, so our focus is very much on increasing the quality and making sure that we're doing the right amount of lending through our intermediary community and also through our direct channels, but with the intermediary centricity, making sure that we satisfy the needs in that market as far as we possibly can. It's a difficult market at the moment, and I think we all know and we all read about the difficulty for people to get on the housing ladder, and also a burgeoning rental sector, and a difficulty at times for landlords, particularly first-time landlords, to enter into that market and satisfy the housing needs that are out there. We've been able this year to look at a couple of propositions, and a 90% product in particular that we launched into the market in the early part of this year, whilst being very mindful of affordability and making sure that people are not taking more than they can afford, and understanding what they're undertaking at the time of the mortgage. It was important for us to be able to enter a sector that's helping people onto the property ladder, and that's been particularly successful in the intermediary sector, as they've got to understand the criteria around those products and got to understand how that best fits into their client base. So that's been running for a few months now. We've also recently bolstered our buy-to-let proposition, and only this week put a cashback onto that buy-to-let proposition to highlight even further some of the benefits in us going out to particularly first and second time landlords, but also to anyone really that's got some buy-to-let needs. We of course need to make sure that the company is the right size for the plans and the future that we have, and over the last period you'll have probably seen that some colleagues have had to leave the company. What I can assure you and assure our intermediary partners is that the service to the customers and the service to our intermediaries is paramount in our thinking whenever we're looking at our plans and looking at what we need to do. So to that end, I'm confident that the service that we can offer for the amount of lending that we need to do won't be affected. We expect it to be broadly flat, 135 billion last year. We don't really think, despite some more bullish forecasts in the industry, we don't really think that'll be an awful lot higher this year. Pretty flat, we think, and net lending probably no more than last year either. It does make it a difficult market. It makes it a market where you need to be able to keep close to the intermediaries in our case and understand what the customers need and what needs are not being fulfilled, and use our proposition and use whatever we've got available to us to try and make sure that customers are getting the best deal available. But we don't see the market growing an awful lot over the next period.